Good morning, YouTube. Well, I'm surprisingly up and leaving early. I woke up nearly an hour early today before my alarm started going off. Surprising considering the kind of long hours I'm working right now, but not surprising considering how alone I've been and certain things that my body does when certain adult needs are not being met. So generally speaking, that's a frustrating thing, but I'm actually glad that I woke up a little early. It enabled me to finish the video I've had in my editor for the last day and a half, in my iMovie editor, because I'm 2.5 weeks behind at uploading my vlog right now, which is frustrating because I know I've just been shooting video like crazy, but this is such a transitionary time period for me in so many ways that I just really want to have a record of it. Of course, I've got one of my regular detractors in the comments section telling me that I'm an idiot for doing this and blaming everything on everybody, particularly Priscilla, that I need to take responsibility for all of my shortcomings and so on and so forth, which I like to think I do, but apparently not in her eyes. Of course, she has female eyes, and female eyes seem to see the world differently than male eyes do, in a way that I usually find completely illogical, and from what I've seen, so do most other men as well. So I should probably not really pay that any mind. I was going to pop up to Fry's, and what's coming soon here? Coming soon, now hiring. I wonder if they're going to have a sign facing in this way where there's not a stroad that people are driving by on too fast to read the sign. I don't recognize the corporate logo. Definitely working on building something here, though. Just hoping it'll be something that I actually make use of. But I mean, even if it's something positive that others make use of, that's a whole lot better than a random square piece of dirt that coming soon, hiring. I couldn't make it out. Looked like a picture of a root beer float. And no, I absolutely couldn't make out the name of the business. Their logo is so busy that it's hard to make out in the font is in such a way that I found it impossible to make out the name of the business. It seemed to me that when you're putting a sign like that and making a company logo with the name of your business on it, that the most important thing would be legibility of the name of your business. But whatever it is, it's definitely something I don't recognize. Anyway, I'm popping into Food City. I was going to go to Fry's, but I forgot and went the wrong direction, and I don't feel I have time to waste going back and forth. So I'll pop into Food City and try to get myself some stuff for lunch. Hello, YouTube. I'm back from Food City. Car says hi. It's 7:24 a.m. Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. It just occurred to me that I probably didn't say the day, date, and time on the last video. But it'll be time stamped in a way that I can retrieve it from the metadata, so I should have it posted in the video description. And as always, if you haven't looked at my video descriptions, you should probably do that when you watch one. Sometimes it just has really basic stuff, like the day, the date, and the time that I recorded the video, but other times I make them a little bit more informative with links to things that I'm talking about and occasional corrections when I misspeak. Sometimes I misspeak in the most ridiculous ways and I don't catch it until afterwards. Wow. I cannot believe this straight, the regular green light came in front of the left arrow. Usually the way this light cycles, the green left arrow goes first, which is the whole reason I pulled into that lane. These Phoenix traffic control devices are playing games with my emotions right now. Hopefully I make it through tonight okay. I'm definitely more well-rested than I was yesterday, and I made it through yesterday. I am scheduled to close once again, and I think she's got me coming in at 5:30 instead of 6. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I'm I'm not the manager, I'm not the one making the schedule, and I did say I was available anytime after 5:30, so I kind of set myself up for that. Walked out of Food City with 3 reasonably full bags of groceries. I wasn't planning on grabbing that much stuff, but it's been a while since I've found the time to make it to a grocery store, or I felt I've had money to spend at a grocery store. It's kind of a mixture of both. Of course, I really don't want to leave. I can't leave anything refrigerated in the car. It's supposed to get to, oh my goodness, check the weather widget. 97 degrees right now. I just saw it as I opened it go from 96 to 97. That's kind of an indication of how quickly it's going to be getting hot today. And we're looking at a high today of, oh Jesus, 118. Oh man, that just hurt to look at it. 115 for Thursday and Friday. Saturday 114, Sunday 112. Hey, they're looking like they're only expecting 109 next Monday. So, wow, finally a predicted high temperature that's less than 110 degrees. Because 109 is so much cooler. Yeah. And of course, predicted temperatures change all the time, so I'm betting money that it's going to be over 110 on Monday, because looking for the rest of next week, Tuesday they're saying 108, Wednesday 109, and Thursday, Friday back up to 111 and 113. So no, I fully expect this unprecedented temperature doesn't go below 100, or the high temperature doesn't go below 110, and the daytime thing is just gonna continue and continue. I feel like I missed a signal to go on those meters. I always have trouble seeing those things because of the weird angle they're at. Not a fan of ramp meters. I mean, I understand the purpose they serve. Look at this guy. Let's get a little closer to this rear bumper. That'll get you where you're going faster. That's precisely why we've got metered on-ramps, because people don't know how to zipper merge in the United States. It's interesting watching YouTube videos about how European drivers are taught to zipper merge and how zipper merging works in places like Germany on the Autobahn and on Dutch highways. Now, from what I've seen of roads in the UK, they seem to drive as bad as Americans do, just on the wrong side of the road. But yeah, you watch the same sort of traffic situation with average American drivers, and what the? No! This is what I get for not looking at my traffic view. I don't understand why that's closed. I see construction going to the south. Not only do I see construction going to the south, but I see a whole lot of people doing that insanity on the left, trying to make a U-turn and join this traffic backup, heading into the construction to the south. I swear, the average person is like a lemming following other lemmings off a cliff. I had this great conversation with Andre yesterday about that, about how people are just followers, and how, like, he noticed on the sign-in timesheet one day, and mind you, I don't know that I've explained it. I think I mentioned that our time clocks for MLS are awkward and weird to use because they utilize a thumbprint. It hardly ever reads my thumbprint correctly. Yeah, they're super awkward, and I'm not the only one who struggles with them. And then on top of it, we've got a paper sign-in, sign-out sheet that's right next to the time clock. And there's a notice there warning that if you don't clock in and clock out and sign in, sign out on paper, and they don't match, that you will not be paid for this day, or something like that, which I highly doubt that complies with Arizona labor laws. I mean, my agreement to pay $7 for my safety vest, my daughter told me that doesn't agree with Arizona labor laws. And I haven't looked into it, and I'm not going to argue over $7, especially on a safety vest that I like and presumably get to keep. But a whole day of pay because maybe their time clock wasn't functioning, or the paper that I'm supposed to sign in or out on wasn't there, or I absolutely could not find a pen. Yeah, that was a problem that was going on. I don't think yesterday, but the day before, there was no pen there. And I pretty much always keep a pen in my Amazon bag, which I've been regularly taking with me to MLS. Or should I say Hertz, because that's also the Hertz break room. And I signed out with my pen. And of course, the next person was like, hey, can I use your pen? Because she saw I had a pen. And I'm like, she said, can I borrow your pen? I'm like, yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it back to me. And then as soon as she was done signing out, she laid the pen down, didn't give it back to me. And the next person started writing their time out with it. And I just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I've got pens. And if I don't have another one in my bag, I surely have a couple in my car. So fuck it, I've got pens. I just left that one there just to kind of help everybody out, because heaven forbid coworkers have to fight for a day of pay because there was no pen there to utilize a paper sign in, sign out sheet. Now, as I said, I'm not going to bring $7 for a safety vest that I get to keep, that I actually really like, to the labor board. It's just not. I like the vest. It's mine, and at this point, there's no dispute as to whether or not it's mine. So they can't try to come after my last paycheck. Hey, you didn't return your safety vest. That was a $40 safety vest. I've heard of companies doing weirder shit over like uniforms not being returned or loaned out utensils not being returned. So yeah. In fact, my last paycheck from KZ95 in Jackson Hole was for $0.00. It was just basically a statement regarding everything they took out of it. Although, to be fair, I had employee housing, and I earned that because I deliberately trashed the fuck out of that apartment. Yeah, I learned my lesson because I was really counting on that money. When that check finally showed up in the mail, I had to wait for it. It was nothing. And of course, they didn't tell me, when I contacted them and tried to give them my address, they didn't tell me, oh, well, you're not getting anything. Or I wouldn't have given them my address, because instead they came after me for the rest of the damages to the apartment. And what I learned is don't be an asshole that damages apartments. That was a life lesson there. But I'm not going to lie, the way that job ended there at KZ95, God, did it feel good. And I don't remember everything I did. I remember some of the things I did, and I don't want to talk about it. That was not one of my finer moments. But hey, I just turned 21. I was young and stupid, and I was going to show them. I guess in the long run, they showed me, and some extra people got some extra work that they wouldn't have otherwise got cleaning up the apartment. And in the end, I'm kind of the one who lost there. So, sort of cut off my nose to spite my face, as the saying goes. Now, 7:36, I'm getting into work plenty early. In fact, early enough that I think I'm going to try to go to a Circle K to get a Fountain Mountain Dew Sip and Save drink. Because I got a 6-pack of Mountain Dew at Food City, but they're not cold. So I can always put it in a cup, but I don't think they have cups for us there. Which is interesting, because generally speaking, they mix up big thermoses of cold Gatorade and put a bunch of ice in it for us. But it's on us to bring something to pour that into. They don't provide cups like Amazon and a lot of my other employers in the last couple of years have. And I should really be bringing one of my Amazon bottles, but I left my nicest Amazon bottle over at Williams-Sonoma, full of water in the cooler, in the employee break room refrigerator, which which of course wasn't worth all the gas. I mean, it was a 65-mile round trip. I'm not going to make a 65-mile round trip when gas was at like $4.30 a gallon. It's gone down since then. It's still ridiculously expensive. And I about want to reach through the screen and choke out the White House press secretary when she says, "Oh, under the Biden administration, we've lowered gas prices." Yeah, it's lowered in the last 2 months, I'll give you that. But when gas prices start at like $1 and change, and then they go up to $5, and then they come back down to like over $3.50, that's a Polestar that just passed me on the left. Those are the cars I keep talking about, the electric cars that I like so much better than Teslas. That gray thing is a Polestar. And I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that's somebody bringing it into Hertz. So I found out the other day that there are some guys that specifically do out-of-sight transportation vehicles. And when I said I couldn't think of another position that I would like better than the one I have, actually I think I would like doing out-of-sight better. Although then I'd have to deal with all the idiots on the road as opposed to being on a closed course where, granted, there's still some idiots, but a lot less of a threat, and there's cameras everywhere. So if there's any kind of dispute over who's at fault, like I've got Hertz's cameras to hopefully back me up. Wow, there's a Waymo. I'm sure the video's not catching it, but there's a Waymo camping on the right there in that little side street from the day I did the video trying to find out where the Waymos go when they disappear down that way. So it's kind of interesting. I'm learning the places that they like to camp when they're waiting for calls. And that's the first one I discovered, but the closest one to my home is on 46th Street, on the right side of the road, southbound, just before Palm, next to the park. So I think there's a Circle K coming up on the right in Washington. Yes, I can see it. And I think I'm still doing good on time to get to work. Oh yeah, it's 7:39 a.m. So I'm just gonna pop in and out, and hopefully get my sip and save. Of course, I always like playing roulette with Circle K on whether or not they're going to have a functional soda fountain with any of the beverages I like to drink on it. Especially right now, what I really want is a Mountain Dew to help wake me up. But I'll settle for a Coke. Definitely need my caffeine right now. Oh yes, I'm playing Circle K soda fountain roulette right now on a race against time. So, whoa, the issue today is all they had was 44-ounce drink cups, and they didn't have very many of those left. A whole lot of empty spaces on the drink cups. Why is it so hard for Circle K's, other convenience stores don't seem to have this problem, for Circle K's to stock and keep in stock empty cups for the soda fountain? Like, why is that such a challenge for them? That's not an item that goes bad, like other food where you have to worry about ordering too much for fear it expires. Fountain cups don't expire. Styrofoam does not expire. In fact, a lot of people want styrofoam to be outlawed because it apparently stays in the environment forever, or something near that. It doesn't break down very easily. But yeah, for some reason, Circle K's just really struggle with that. Anyway, 44-ounce fountain drink does not fit in my car. Full stop. And please don't turn into my lane, dude. Actually dropped off a pizza last night in those apartments on the right. Aero Terra, I think it's called. But yeah, as soon as I saw the address, it was like, whoa. Dupavia. and then once I get there, it's like, oh, it's the new place. Yeah, I don't think there's actually anybody living in anything that used to be Dupavia at this point in time. So at least the next Circle K is very close, and I didn't get stuck at that red light. Kind of starting to get pressed for time now, and I'd really like to get my damn fountain Mountain Dew. Oh, look at that. I saw that deal yesterday, but I didn't have any cash on me, and damned if I was going to use an EBT card for it. But $1 full-size candy bars with the purchase of a Polar Pop. So I was mentioning the other day when I was a kid, like the standard going price at convenience stores for a candy bar like that was 50 cents. And I didn't know what it was up to now, but it was like several bucks. $1 seems like a really good, in part of my head, it seems like a ridiculous price, but I'm thinking, 1980s prices. So $1 actually seems like a good price. Well, hook me up like a Reese's or something. That sounds good. Oh, I'm pushing the envelope for time now. It's 7:49. Shit, where'd my keys go? Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Got to be kidding me. I can't find my fucking car key. God, I am such a space cadet. I just literally putting all my stuff in my car, not that I was carrying much, sat it on the roof of the car, and then forgot I sat it on the roof of the car. Just like that. Well, I got a vehicle behind me just sitting right there, not moving whatsoever, so I can't back out. And then there's a guy. Check this nonsense. We got a guy there getting gas at the back pump, so his trailer is completely blocking the access way. And then that person behind me is apparently just going to sit there Oh, she noticed that she's in my way and decides to go forward when there's nowhere forward to go. Yeah, people are stupid. Holy shit. This is what I was talking about earlier, and then I kind of got sidetracked because I'm stupid as well, is how people are followers and they just don't think and solve problems with their brains. They don't notice that people are all heading into some kind of disaster, and they just keep doing everything that everybody else is doing wrong instead of being aware that everybody else is doing it wrong and trying to do something different. I think she scooted forward enough that I can back out beside her. Yes, keep scooting forward. I don't know where she thinks she's going. Of course, this all stems from the guy who couldn't get into the forward pump, so decided to go to the back pump and let his trailer completely block everybody. I'm out. That's what matters. But man, I'm like short on time. I did not have time for that. I mean, I probably did not have time for the whole stop, but I surely didn't have time for that nonsense in the parking lot. So now it's 7:52. I forget what the acceptable time window is for being late and it not being considered being late, but I tend not to pay attention to that sort of thing because I tend to always be a little earlier. At least I strive for that. But man, I really wanted a fountain drink, which I got, by the way. Got Mountain Dew. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that soda fountain a 9. And it was a little unkept, but I mean, 16th Street in Roosevelt. If you know Phoenix, that's enough said. If that was in North Scottsdale, I would have not rated it as high just because, come on, you guys, clean that up. That's disgusting. But all in all, it was okay for 16th and Roosevelt. It was a really friendly female junkie that seemed like she was tweaking out on something that was actually trying to have a conversation with me. She looked like she'd clean up okay. I'm not going to go as far as say she'd clean up nice, but she looked like she cleaned up okay. Said her name was Lala. You know, and I think I've seen her on a Tales from the Street interview before. I'm going to have to search. That sounds super familiar. She looked familiar. If I can find a YouTube video of somebody interviewing her, I'll definitely try to link that in the video description. So, as I said, keep your eyes look at my video descriptions. I try to put interesting stuff there. All right, I'm messed up here, and I should have known that this doesn't work. I should have turned left at Van Buren and then right on the other side of, right on the next street. I forget what it is, but the next street after I-10. And then I could have turned right on Washington, left on the access road, and gone across to Sky Harbor Circle. Of course, I probably shouldn't have swung that far east anyway. I probably should have just looped and gone straight back down 16th Street. But in fact, I could have turned right coming out of the old Smitty's parking lot, which is now Ranch Market, and then left onto 16th Street. That would have probably been my best bet. But hey, let's hear it for 2020 hindsight. 7:56. Nope, I am not getting to work on time. Damn it. Not happy with myself for that. And not only did I deal with the stupidity in the parking lot, but grab my receipt because I want to audit that. It used to be that, as I started thinking about when I did it, my total was, it wasn't bad, but it was higher than I was anticipating it being. And it used to be whatever those deals are where you get something for $1 that's typically like $2 plus with the purchase of a Polar Pop fountain drink, that getting it on a ship and save counted as a purchase. And then I noticed at one point they stopped doing that, and I didn't think of that until I got to the register. Because if I'm not getting the deal, I shouldn't have got the candy bar. Ended up getting a Reese's. When I got there, I was thinking I wanted to get something else, and it was very confusing, and this wasted some time too. I got a Twix, and then I asked her, does this qualify for that? And she goes, oh no, that's king size, only the regular size. And I walked over, and damned if I could find any regular size Twix. The majority of their candy bar aisle is just the king sizes. They don't have the sizes that qualifies for the discount. So yeah, I wasted time trying to sort and figure that out. As soon as I looked at that, as soon as that happened, I should have just got my sip and save and bounced and quit wasting time on it. But I already grabbed these. These were in the manager's clearance aisle, which the manager's clearance bins. I love buying stuff out of there, and I buy all kinds of random stuff out of there. Because typically it's 50% off. Sometimes it's discounted even heavier than that. Oh, and of course I'm getting the next light red. Yeah, typically that stuff is like heavily discounted. The only thing that really bugs me about the way they do the manager's clearance is I wish they would put like big handwritten price tags on it, or big, clearance type price tags on it, the way they do at Fry's grocery store on their clearance item. That makes it really obvious that it's designated as clearance and what the price is. Because there's no price tag on this. And of course, there's nothing in the clearance bin to indicate what the price is. So when you see the manager's, they call it the manager's special bin at Circle K. When you see it, it's probably a really good deal. But you have absolutely no way of knowing what the price is going to be without bringing it up and asking them, which can be a time-consuming thing. She was kind of busy. I'm not trying to waste her time. I'm kind of pressed for time myself. Now I'm definitely late for work. Oh yeah, it's 7:58. It's a good, it's like a 2-minute walk from the parking lot to the time clock. Let's not forget that. Oh well. I think so far I've shown a pretty good attendance record and a pretty solid work ethic. So being a couple minutes late isn't going to be a deal breaker, I don't think. Damn, just looked down and saw the clipboard from Domino's and realized that I never did text Samantha back about that. Whoops. Oh, Samantha. God, she is so cute. All right, where was I? I suddenly got this vision of Samantha in my head, and it completely distracted me from everything else. Yeah, I don't want to be walking in with 3 grocery bags to work and trying to figure out in the break room when I'm already late how to accommodate 3 grocery bags. So I do need to sort that out a bit. Although everything refrigerated definitely needs to go in with me, regardless of how bulky it is. Well, yeah, come on. Of course, I just turned into the wrong lane, but whatever. I'm turning right at the next driveway. And I didn't cut anybody off. That's the important thing. It's all learning experience. Now I got a little better idea in my head and how long all of that takes. I really wish I could go straight forward and park there, but that lot serves a different purpose. Ooh, I wonder if I can park to the left there in the shade. I can't tell if that's supposed to be a parking spot or not. Better not to chance it. Bad enough my car looks like somebody homeless is living in it. Alright, sunshade. Sunshade desperately needs to go in. I'm going to say 118 today or something crazy like that. Yeah, sunshade is necessary. Let's see if I can secure the right side. The right side keeps coming down. I don't know how I can secure it any better than I have been, but obviously I need to secure it better than I have been because it hasn't been staying up. It's a little bit better. Oh, you know what? I better crack my windows a little bit. That little thing of just tapping it to crack the windows like I just did is surprisingly difficult to do in new cars, I'm finding. In MLS, sometimes when I have to move cars down the line, they're just brutally hot inside. And I'll get in them and it's just like an oven. And the interior is burning my ass. The steering wheel is burning my hands, and trying to get myself all arranged here. Steering wheel is burning my hands, and the oh man, realize I'm about to pile everything on top of my bread, which is a way to end up with smushed bread. I'm not leaving a loaf of bread in the car though. As hot as it's going to be, that's just gonna, like, it's not like bread needs to be refrigerated, but you put bread in that high of a temperature, it just makes it gross. So I'm getting blasted by like crazy hot air, and it's like an oven in there. And I'm thinking to myself, God, who's the asshole that's leaving this fan on? So when I start the car and move it on this line, it's just roasting my face. And then it occurred to me that asshole was, on several occasions, me. Because as I was coming down from the garage, I had the air conditioning on, blowing high, and it felt good because I'm coming from a garage. So the air conditioning is effective because the car's been not in the sun. So now, to kind of spare my future self pain or other drivers' future selves pain, I'm making a point to turn the fan, if not all the way off, because sometimes that's hard to figure out on the modern cars. At least turn it to its lowest setting with the adjustment on that, and then also to try to crack the windows. Now, the obvious solution would be to roll the window all the way down, but in most cases I can't do that because they use like a grease pen to write down what needs to be done with the car and the window, so that needs to be visible. But I can at least crack it like this, and that'll be the difference between it being hot in the car and oven brutal, oh my God, this hurts to sit in it car. But I'm finding with new cars, if I tap it or if I just try to roll it down a little bit and then release my finger on it, like my windows work, it rolls all the way down. And then if I try to reverse it, it rolls all the way up. And it just automatically wants to roll all the way down or roll all the way up. It's very difficult to get modern car electric windows to stop somewhere in between. I don't know why that is. I'm kind of learning some tricks to get to do it, but my God, Detroit and other automakers, what the fuck are you thinking with the controls these days? Like, quit fixing things that aren't broke. Leave things alone. Leave things the way they work, like people are used to them.